Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing my review and 3 demo look on the Brown Sugar collection with COLOURPOP Cosmetics and Karushi. I know my review on this is going up super duper late. This collection came out, I believe, like 2 months ago. And I just want to thank you guys so much for being so patient with me with these reviews. But we're finally doing it, so if you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts and seeing swatches, comparisons, and 3 demos, then just continue watching. So first things first is product info. Let me give you guys some prices onto these products. You can buy the whole collection for $65 US, and in this collection you will be getting an eyeshadow palette. This is their 9-pan eyeshadow palette. If you do want to get this separately, it is $12 US. She came out with a bunch of creme gel colors which are in the tubs. I only picked up one in the shade Stew, but I think there is a total of 3, I believe. These are $6 US each. You'll also be getting 4 Luxe lipsticks, and these are all in the cream finish, and these are $7 US each. And then she also came out with 2 ultra glossy lips in the new formula, which has the brush tips, and these are $6 US each. So if you wanted to get the whole collection, this is everything that you'll be getting inside that. So now I'm going to talk about each individual product on its own and just give you guys my thoughts on them product by product. That way it's easier for me to give you guys my thoughts, and it's also easier for you guys to view this video and take in my recommendations. So obviously the first thing we're going to talk about is the Brown Sugar eyeshadow palette. You guys know how much I love eyeshadows. I say this all the time. This is in their 9-pan palette. It's a beautiful, neutral, warm chocolate palette. Chocolate is the best way to describe this whole collection. If you guys are interested about the packaging, it's like in a brown camo package, and I love that. I love camo and the fact that it's like all brown. It's a whole vibe. This whole collection is very monochromatic, and if you guys know me well enough, you know that I live and breathe for monochromatic looks. I always like to match everything. My nails are brown for this collection. I always paint my nails accordingly to my reviews, and I always like to match my eyeshadow with my top or my lip color with my top. So going back to the eyeshadow palette, this is like a really pretty neutral palette, and a lot of you guys were asking me if I would recommend this or not, and to be honest, with everything it is always up to you, but with this eyeshadow palette it is truly up to you because I do not know what is in your collection. A lot of these shades are very common shades, and you can take that in one way, where it's like one way you could be like, it's like a boring palette, we've seen these so many times, but you could take it in another way. It's like everybody needs their basic shades, like everybody needs that to create a good look. That's like the foundation for every single look, and this palette could be it for you. But for someone like me, I have a ton of palettes and I still like this palette. You know, I'm just like a makeup lover. Everything here works beautifully, and it just is so cohesive. Every single shadow in here I use within my 3 demos. Everything made sense. There wasn't a shade wasted. All the shades in here are necessary shades. You get a setting shade, you get transition shades, you get medium tones, and you also get a dark tone. You get 3 shimmers. There's just everything in here that you could need to create a very warm chocolate look, and I love that. I love all the looks that I created. I had a breeze creating looks with this palette. Obviously it's a neutrals palette. It's really up to you whether you want to get it or not. I personally think $12 US is a pretty good damn deal for the quality of these shadows, and the selection in here is just beautiful. Obviously with my 3 looks you can definitely recreate it with a lot of other palettes, very similar. This is nothing out of the ordinary, but I don't think that is actually a bad thing. I do think the shade Sauté, the one I'm wearing on my eyelids today, is actually a very unique shade. Everything else in here is very standard, like I've seen it before. Maybe it's like a little tone deeper, warmer, lighter, but Sauté is something I definitely don't have in my collection. Next, I quickly want to talk about the cream gel color. So these are their gel pots. I've actually only tried one of them, which is the black one, and I don't like it. I don't like ColourPop's cream gel, these pots one, just because I have the Inglot one, and I feel like nothing can compare to the Inglot AMC gel liner. Like, that is literally just the best of the best gel liner. The reason why I only picked up one, because I had a feeling like I'm not going to use it that much, and I really did want to use this a lot more in my demos, but it's hard for me to part ways with my Inglot gel liner. I had it in mind to use this as my wing liner. So the reason why I don't like this formula specifically for wing liner is because it's not as, I guess it's a little bit more slippery, and it it will transfer. Well, it transfers on me when I use the black one. But other than using this as eyeliner, you can use this as a makeup base because like I said, it is a little bit more lighter and more slippery. So you can use that as an eye base, go on top with other shadows. That will look really nice as well. I wish I could have done that, but just the visions that I have for my 3 looks, I just really wanted to play with the eyeshadows mainly, and I feel like that's the main thing in this collection. You could also use this in your waterline, which I did for the first look, so you'll see that. So yeah, there are like multiple ways you can use cream gel liners. I don't like the cream gel color. Another exciting thing in this collection are the Luxe lipsticks. Honestly guys, Karrueche came up with every formula that I love besides the cream gel colors. She came up with the Luxe lipsticks, ultra glossy lips, eyeshadows. You guys know those are like my 3 favorite categories from ColourPop. Now we're going to talk about the Luxe lipsticks. So she came up with 4. How about I talk about every color individually and tell you guys my thoughts. So my favorite one I'll start off with is Cinnamon. Now Cinnamon is just a gorgeous true chocolate brown. You cannot get more chocolate than this. With all 3 looks, this is the lip pairing that I wanted to pair all of them with. It kind of looks like my nail polish color. So my nail polish color is Taurus from KR Polish. It's literally the same. I wear this nail polish all the time. If I had to recommend one Luxe lipstick out of them all, just one, it would have to be Cinnamon. It's so incredibly beautiful. The Luxe lipstick family does not have a shade like this. I can literally see it on every single skin tone. If you are much lighter than me, if you are more deeper than me, I feel like these lip colors are so universal, and I think that's the whole purpose for this brown sugar collection. The campaign, suitable for everyone, and it's gonna look different on everyone. And the other 2 I like as well. So the one I'm wearing right now is called Brick, but it's like a beautiful burnt burgundy mauvey color. I don't know, these colors are just beautiful fall colors, even though here in New Zealand it's like pretty much summertime. Yeah, I just really like the shade as well. And the next one we have is Chocolatier. I'm probably pronouncing that one wrong, but this one is the darkest one out of them all. It's kind of like Cinnamon, but this one is a little bit darker and a bit more like reddy brown. Very beautiful as well. I love this shade too. I can see myself wearing this a lot. And the last shade is called Butter, which is the nude in this collection. So for Butter, the formula on this one is a little bit different. I feel like with a lot of the ColourPop Luxe lipsticks and more of the lighter shades, they can go on a little bit streaky and not as opaque as other ones. You still can see your lip color underneath. So what I like to do in these kind of situations where it's like that, I'll just take my finger and just kind of like blot it down a little, and that will take away the streakiness and it looks beautiful. This is definitely a Luxe lipstick that I would wear with like a lip liner perhaps, because it does look a little bit too light on me. Yeah, I just think it's a really great nude. It's just the formula was a little bit weird for me. It was just like a little bit streaky. This one is not as unique. There are some other similar colors in the Luxe lipstick family that are a little bit closer to this. All the other ones, I feel like the comparisons are not too comparable, you know what I mean? Especially Cinnamon. Cinnamon is one of a kind in my opinion. And lastly in the collection we have 2 ultra glossy lips. These are in the new formula, so these are the ones that have the brush tip and the yummy delicious scent. We first have Dumpling, and this is actually a first for me. A lot of the newer formulas don't come in this kind of opaqueness. A lot of them are a lot more sheerer and they have that high shine, a lot of glitters, but this one is literally just like an opaque gloss. It is just like one color. It's really similar to the older formula of the ultra glossy lip, like Aquarius, where it's just like an opaque color. There's no glitters in there, so it's like a first for me. I'm not sure if it's a first from ColourPop. The way I used it in my demos and when I tried it on for you guys, I just used it on its own. I didn't use like a lip liner underneath. I just put it straight onto my lips, and doing that does look very streaky. From afar it looks beautiful, but when you go up close you can see it's very streaky. You can see the brush strokes in it. So I think to avoid that, you would want to put this on top of a lip liner or a Luxe lipstick or a liquid lipstick, and it will look magical. This makes your lips look so incredibly juicy. This is a lip color that I see like the Kardashians wearing, especially like Khloe, because they always have like big juicy glossy lips. This is the color that I see them wearing. I just gotta play around like with layering it on. And the last shade we have is Rosy. In the tube, this actually reminds me of the Fenty Fenty Gloss Bomb. I haven't tried the Fenty Gloss Bomb, but just looking in the package, it kind of looks similar. This is really comparable to like Champagne Mami, Feedback. So this one is like a beautiful pink base, so it will give your lips a little bit of a tint to it. But this one has a lot more gold glitters, like really micro thin gold glitters in there. It's really stunning. Comparing my thoughts from this brown sugar collection to the Femme Rosa one, it's like literally 10 times better. I think from the Femme Rosa collection, I didn't like anything. I honestly haven't used anything from that collection since it launched, but this one, I can see myself using a lot. So if you couldn't tell already what are my top recommendations from this collection, obviously is the eyeshadow palette, the brown sugar eyeshadow palette, the Luxe lipstick in cinnamon, and also the ultra glossy lip in glossy. All the other products, don't get me wrong, are amazing besides the cream gel color. Everything else is great, but these are just like my top picks. If you are on the budget, what are the most necessary products? I feel like these three are mine. So that is pretty much all I had to say about the collection and my thoughts on it. I'm gonna start rolling the clips for the dupes. Out of all the dupes, I had 5 Dream Street dupes. Oh, not dupes, I guess they're more like comparisons. And then I had 3 Good Sports comparisons. So if you have Dream Street and 5 of them are like comparable shades, there are only 9 shadows and brown sugar, maybe you might want to reconsider. So hopefully the dupes will help you make a decision if you actually do need the brown sugar or not. But I thought I would just mention that. Everything else is just kind of splattered into other palettes. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the first look. This is what we will be creating. It's very soft but very glam at the same time, very smoky, and I love it. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm first gonna take the shade Chai, and I'm just gonna kind of dust this all over my lid space. Just gonna get like a light wash of color all over my lid, and also setting down my concealer, which acts as my eye base. I will be using my Makeup Collective number 16 brush to do so. Next, I'll be taking the shade Jam Ocha on my ColourPop tapered blending brush, and this is going to be our transition shade. I'm just gonna look straight down into my mirror, and I'm gonna pop that straight into my crease, working from the outer corner first, and then going straight into the inner part of my crease. Just using circular and windshield wiping motions. We just want to get this all over into our crease, and also around the outer corner. I'm going to drag it out into kind of like a cat-like shape. Next, I'll be taking the shade Sorrel on my Morphe M433 brush, and we're going to focus this right at the outer edge of our eye. Just going to dab the color on first and swirl it around to blend it, and then slowly bring that towards my inner crease. And now I'm going to take the shade Henna, and I'm just using a synthetic angled brush. This one has no name, it's just from Morphe. I'm going to start using this shadow to tightline my upper lash line. I think creating a smoky wing is very helpful to those of you guys that are beginners or you're not so good with doing wing liner. It's much more safer and it's easier to like erase any mistake if you make any. So if you're like a beginner and you want to try wing liner, I would recommend like you use like a dark eyeshadow. I'm just going to take a pencil brush, the Makeup Collective number 10 brush, and I'm just going to use this to diffuse around the liner because I don't want this to be harsh. I want this look to look very smoky, very soft, so I don't want this wing to have any like defined lines. So I'm just going around those edges just to really smoke and blend it out. Moving along to the shade Auburn using my Sigma E55 brush. I'm also using this shadow wet. I'm going to place that right in the inner part of my lid space, just dabbing it on lightly. And towards the crease area, I'm just going to dab it out and really smoke that shimmer out. I don't want to cut my crease or anything because like I've been saying, I want this look to look very soft and diffused. Going back into the shade Sorrel on my Sigma E20 brush, I'm going to use this shadow to smoke out my lower lash line. Just going from outer to inner corner and just swiping that left and right, connecting it with the shadow at the outer corner. Taking the ColourPop Creme Gel color in the shade Stew, which comes in this collection, I'm using my Sigma E05 brush. I'm actually going to use this in my bottom waterline. And lastly, I'm just going to take a bit of ginger on my Vanity Planet lip liner brush, and I'm going to use this to highlight my inner corners and also my brow bone. So that's about it for my eyeshadow. I'm actually just going to go off camera just to do a little bit of tight lining and pop on my lashes, and then I'll be right back to show you all the lip colors. And this, guys, is the first look completed. For lashes, I am wearing the Demure Lite from House of Lashes. For my final lip pairing, I decided to go with the Luxe lipstick in the shade Cinnamon. I just feel like it just tied the whole look together, made it a lot more monochromatic. But honestly, all of the lip colors are beautiful with this eye look. I feel like everything goes nicely together. Okay, so this is look number 2. It's just like a beautiful half cut crease. Very classic and very glam at the same time. I think it's just perfect for the holiday season. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm first going to start off with the shade Chai with my Makeup Collective number 16 brush. And I'm going to use this to set down my concealer, which I use as my eye base. I'm just going to pat that down all over my lid space. Just prepping for the shadows we're going to place on top, and of course, as always, this step is always optional. I'm now going to take the shade Amber on my ColourPop tapered blending brush, and this is going to be our transition shade. Since we are doing a half cut crease, I want this to be literally all up in my crease area. So I'm going to focus it from the outer crease to the inner crease, making sure this color is nicely blended all over my lid space. And I'm actually going to bring this quite high up because I still want this to peep through. I'm next going to take the shade Sorrel on my Morphe M433 brush, and again doing exactly the same thing, but I'm going to focus it a little bit lower. I'm not going to bring it all the way up to my brow bone, just keeping it mainly in that crease region. We really just want to build some depth to cut the crease, so that way it has something to contrast against and the cut crease will really pop out. Now we'll be taking the shade Chalk on my ColourPop E9 brush. I sound so repetitive, but we're going to be doing exactly the same thing. But as the darker the shade goes, we're going to keep it lower to the crease and lower to the lid space. We're not going to bring it as high up. So now I'm just taking some concealer on the back of my hand, and I'll be using my Vanity Planet Small Cream Shadow Brush. I'm going to use this to cut out my crease. I'm going to place this right in the inner third of my lid and just slowly map out where I think the cut crease needs to be. And then I'm just going to take a smaller paintbrush just to define that crease a little bit more. I'm just looking down into my mirror. I feel like that helps a lot, especially if your eyes are like mine where there are a lot of folds. If you're looking down, your whole lid will be flat. flat, and that's a lot easier to get into those fine lines. And before I put on my shimmer shadow, I just like to go back in with the darkest shade Chalk on a very small definer brush. This is actually just a paintbrush. I'm gonna go along that crease line just to define everything a little bit more. Now we will be using the shade Ginger. I'm using this shadow wet on my Makeup Collective number 18 brush, and this is going right on top of that concealer we just placed down. I like to switch to my Makeup Collective number 4 brush just to get really close to that crease line because I don't want to go over it. Just going back into the shade Sorrel on my Morphe M433 brush, I'm going to use this and I'm going to dab it over where the shimmer and the matte meet. I'm also going to take Ginger and I'm going to place that in my inner corners and also use that to highlight my brow bone as well. And now I'm going to be taking the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter in the shade Midnight Cowboy, and I'm going to use this along that crease line, just right underneath my crease on top of the shade Ginger. It's just going to pop out the crease a lot more, give a little bit of glitter and sparkle to this eye look, and just tracing along that crease line. And when the light hits it, it's so gorgeous. Okay, so that's about it for the eyeshadow for now. I'm gonna go off camera, finish my base, do my wing liner and lashes, and then we'll move on to the lower lash line. Now I'm going back into the shade Sorrel on my Sigma E55 brush, and I'm gonna wash this all over my lower lash line, just from outer to inner corner. Taking a bit of henna on my Makeup Collective number 7 brush, I'm going to push this up against my lower lash line, right underneath my waterline. And then I'll be taking my Artisy In Smooth Ride Supercharged Eyeliner in the shade Coffee, and I'm going to use this to tightline my bottom waterline. Okay guys, so this is the completed look for look number 2. For lashes, I am wearing the iconic lights from House of Lashes. For my lip color, I decided to go with the ultra glossy lip in the shade Dumpling. I feel like it really complements the transition shade that's peeping through in the eye look. Everything looks cohesive, monochromatic, and I'm just so obsessed with this look, and I hope you guys are too. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get started with the final look. This is what we will be creating today. It's very easy to do. It's pretty much just like a glittery smoky eye. So let's just go ahead and get started. Firstly, I'm going to take the shade Chai on my Makeup Collective number 16 brush. And again, I'm just using this to set down my concealer, which acts as my eye base. Next, we'll be taking the shade Jam Ocha on my ColourPop tapered blending brush, and this is going to be our transition shade. Just like what we always do, just putting that straight into the crease using windshield wiping motions, blending that towards up to our brow bone. Like I said, this look is actually very easy to create. It's literally just 3-4 steps and you're good. Now we'll be taking the shade Henna on my Sigma E25 brush, and I'm going to start packing that on to my lid space first where I want that initial pigment, and then we'll slowly blend that towards transition shade once there isn't much product left on your brush. And when I'm moving it to the transition, I'm just swiping it left and right just to get that blend out. Now I'll be using the shade Saute on my Sigma E55 brush. I'm using this shadow wet, and I'm going to place that right on the center of my lid first, just packing that on, and then towards the outer edges, just blend that out and bringing that towards up to the crease. Okay, so that is it for the eyeshadow for now. I told you it was very easy to do. So I'm just gonna go off camera and do my wing liner, put my lashes on, finish off my base, and then we'll be right back to finish off the lower lash line. So now we're gonna go into the shade Sorrel on my Makeup Collective number 11 brush, and I'm gonna use this on my lower lash line, just making that from outer to inner corner. Going back into the shade Henna on my Makeup Collective number 7 brush, I'm going to push this up against my lower lash line. It's just exactly what we've been doing in our past looks. And now just using my Artisy in Modestar eyeliner in the shade Coffee, I'm going to use this to tightline my bottom lash line. Okay guys, so this is the final look completed for my lashes. They are from Leah Lashes. I don't know the style of them, but I'll definitely link them down below. For my final lip pairing, I decided to go with the Luxe lipstick in the shade Brick. Alright guys, so this is going to conclude my review on the Brown Sugar collection. Thank you guys again so much for waiting for me and being so patient. I know you guys have been requesting for this one, so hopefully it was worth the wait and up to your standards. Hopefully this video was still helpful towards you guys. If it was, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on this collection. Are you going to pick up anything? Have you already picked up stuff? Because I'm 2 months late, but yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to chat about it with you guys, and that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!